Hi, Ken Jones with Leica Geosystems, Training Manager for the Public Safety Group. This is January 23rd, 2019, and we are doing a lunch and learn on rapid forensic deliverables. Specifically, we're going to do a 2D diagram from scan data that's imported, aligned, and calibrated to be one-to-one in Map 360. Hope you enjoy today's webinar. It's going to be recorded. I'll be answering questions live on the electronic chat while the recording runs. Send your questions in. Thank you. Greetings. It's January 23rd, 2019. Today we are doing a webinar and a recording for the Lunch and Learn series for Map 360 and Leica Geosystems HDS products. A lot of people think that this particular video might just be strictly related to your scanner or use of scanners, but I think there's a great purpose that if you don't have a scanner and you go out and you take a picture of a fire map, you might be able to use the same techniques as long as you have a reference measurement to scale that image. So there's a lot of utility in this tool that we're going to basically use align an image. But I am going to be covering from Reg 360 how to capture a sliver of a slice of the point cloud, and then we're going to talk about how to bring that into Map 360 to draw on that and to get a rapid deliverable of 2D. And I think that you guys are going to really like this tool. Real quick overview, you've been seeing passing through on the screen above me, is that 27.0087 meters. Those are two reference measurements that I did in the point cloud between the two arrow tips. And essentially what I do is I basically take the screen, lay those 2 points down from 0, 0, 0, and extend that line out to give me 27 feet distance. I then take the image and I align it and size it to that exact measurement because I know they match. Now I'm one-to-one. And then I can basically start doing pictures right over the point cloud or capturing measurements. If I wish, I can continue forward and draw diagram line work, add vehicles, and any type of measurements that I may want. More importantly, I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy the evidence log, where you will just simply leave the point cloud visible and drop your placards down on top of where your evidence is found to give a quick reference tool, and then print that as a PDF evidence report with attached images. That's where I think we're going to finish on this one without doing too much line work because we don't have a whole lot of time in our short webinar. So let's get started. So a couple nights ago, I went out and found myself an accident where a car scrunched a bicycle. Actually, I made the accident for training purposes. And essentially, we ran this RTC in this low light intersection with one light above us. And we basically had the RTC 360 new scanner out rolling through the scene. We did 3 scan setups very quickly, one at low res, one at medium res, and one at high res with a double bypass. When you're working on an iPad with the RTC, what you can end up doing is you have your scene and you get rapid pictures. So this is a low res of the scan data coming in. And essentially you're able to do some screen captures. So all I did was hit the screen capture button on my iPad. And you can email these if you really needed to do a rapid deliverable from your iPad in the field. And that is a great tool that's even from the field rapid. So let's break into where we're going to get now into Reg 360, but that's this capturing of the scene. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into Reg 360. We just finished up capturing our measurement in Cyclone, and we now have captured that photograph. It's time to export that photograph from Reg 360 so we can do some manipulation with it or just bring it right into Map 360. So here we go. Images are stored in the asset file. If you over on the left-hand side of your working screen, you'll have your bundled views. And your little paperclip is basically going to show you where you have your assets. So I've collected a number of little assets in here. These are files that we imported straight from the iPad to the actual data. Some screen captures from when I was just playing around, some measurements taken. These are additional resources for basically being a rapid deliverable that you can pull it right from Reg 360 with some measurements there. But what we have is our measurement we did on our video at 27.590. Slightly different, but pretty darn close to those two arrows. And our ortho sitemap. So this is the one we want to basically open. And we have our image here. We basically now say, save it. And we want to save this image. And I always like to save my stuff in my file structure. Here I am in my bike accident. Just a reminder, we have our parent folder. Going back down, this is going to be done in CAD data. And so I'm going to put it in there. And this is the ortho sitemap, 32 and Cooch. So a good portion of knowing how to do these rapid 2D diagrams in Map 360 is about cutting a point cloud up and capturing just the objects that you really want to see and draw on. Here's an example of an indoor scene where we want to take the roof off. And now normally in sitemaps, the roof kind of peers through in a silhouette view. But it's important to know how to get to the quick slice tool. One, your bundle has to be selected. And then when you come back down to the bottom, you can get your true slicer. And so a true slice is a way of basically validating your registration's accurate. We're utilizing this tool to set our thickness of our slice to where we say I want my tables, my chairs, and then I can set that slice location up or down as necessary, basically to what I want to draw in that scene. Those are available in the X, Y, and Z, UCS's slice directions. So once we do that, I just capture that measurement and scene image, draw this as an example. And don't forget, you'll need to do a measurement of a corner to corner of a wall, and you'll line your whole event up in for your drawing based off of a room measurement. So don't forget to take that measurement. So we've done a quick slice. We need to basically desaturate that because it looks kind of odd to bring it in colors. And I'd like to bring it back to black and white. So here we go. Let's just open up PaintNet. Nice free program. File open. And where did I just do this one? Here we go, the Johnson Estate. And I have this picture, it's got 3 colors in it, 3 separate scan positions. And I just want to basically desaturate this thing. So I'm going to go through my adjustments. And I can choose to do different ways. The hue and saturation is dump them all down to black and white kind of idea. That's one way. Another way is to go to the black and white tool. And that's kind of a great way to just go on that. And then in adjustments, you can find your levels and increase your contrasts and such. So you might want to brighten up the whites. So those brighten up. You have crisper lines. Makes it a little easier to draw on. And so we go like that. Now, if needed, you wanted to basically invert this. Again, we might look at that and say it's a little bit light on the gray when it does that. So I would go back to my levels and choose to darken those line up work up. So it all depends on what you wish to do and make your image easiest to draw on. So if you like the white with the black lines or black with white lines, your choice as you bring them in. So I'm going to leave it that way. So I'm going to open up Map 360 now, and I've already created a project, and we're going to basically just zoom right into this and show you how to set this up. When you run your scanner, if you keep it in metric, that's fine. If you keep it in US survey feet, that's fine. Just don't commingle and ship the data from one scanner that's in metric to US survey. This is the number one spot people are going to make mistakes. So when after you set your scene up, here's my 32 and Cooch one, accident. You want to basically go to your home tab, get your scene defaults, and verify metric or US survey feet. So I know that this is particularly ready to run metric to metric, and that's the number one thing to be cautious of. And we need to now set up a 0 point and run a line. So let me step back and show you the PDF handout sheets and line those up so you kind of can learn along with me. So here is the PDF, the Rapid 360 workflow, that's designed to take you into a drawing for 2D from a point cloud or an image where you have a reference measurement. And essentially the equipment that I used in developing this was a BLK. We're using RTC data right now, but even P-series data will work. It says Cyclone Register 360. Know that if you have regular Cyclone and survey, all you do is a cut plane and do your capture there for your click slice. That's totally capable of being done in regular Cyclone as well. Snagit needed if you want to invert or take out the colors. And then Leica core product. We're not utilizing the point cloud right now module to draw on the point cloud, which obviously is going to give you a more accurate dimensional diagram. But this does quite a good job of giving you a demonstrative exhibit that's perfect for rapid use. Now, the tools you're going to need to do is you're going to scale a line. We're going to use the command line entry, 00, enter. We punch in A for angle, enter, and we're going to enter the angle of 0. 0 represents off to the right-hand side in your X coordinate system, another return, and then we enter in the distance that line will be created. So essentially, we know that we're using the Cartesian coordinate system, and we're just about to punch it in manually. So let's do that. And before I draw my lines, I like to actually get in the habit of really using layers. So let's go to our layers and let's establish that we need 2 new layers. Our first layer is going to be 1 space reference line. We're going to make a second layer right now and call it 2 ortho image. The nice thing is those will be up at the top there as we replay this kind of idea. So they're going to start right at the top, and we can just start labeling things as we want. I like to keep them in order 1, 2, 3. So we'll see how we can do with this. We close that. Time to make our line. Line tool. And it says start of line. We're going to do a coordinate entry 0, 0, no parentheses, enter key. And we have a directionality that says, what do you want, an angle, a length, or the endpoint? And so I'm going to punch in an angle, A, to tell the computer I need to enter the angle, and the 0 will be off to the right. So know that in CAD, off to the right is 0, up of it's 90. And so now it's asking for the length of the line. We had a 27.0590 measurement that we took from the Register 360. So I have a length of line there and a right mouse click to end that line. That is my reference line, and I want to kind of validate. Did I get that in right? There's a way to do that. From our tabs, we can basically go find our draws and different analysis tab here. Distance. So if I go in and find that distance and I pick my endpoints, I can pick 0, 0, 0. I can node snap to that, and it will tell me that distance is 27.059 units. So I've validated that that looks good, and we are ready to progress to our next step. We have 2 layers. The reference line's in. We have a layer ready to put an image on it, and we need to attach an image. We're going to go to the Import Export tab, Images, and Attach Image. So let's do that. So we need to go and get an image and align it. So here's what we need to do. Import Export tab. Slide off to the right. Under images, we want to attach an image. We have the downward arrow that offers different opportunities, but the one with the paper clip, attach an image. We navigate to our bike accident, map my data there for this particular project. Select it, and we say open, and I just say okay. I come off to right above my line off the left hand side, and I'll expand up, giving myself plenty of space, and set my picture in there. Pushing my wheel down, I can center this up, wagon wheel in to the center where I want to look at this thing and say, yep, that image looks good, and I need to now size this to this line. And we're going to do that utilizing the Align tool. Now there's two aligns. There's a quick align and regular align. We want to use a regular align. So it's going to say, first say select entities. So I'm just going to draw a great big box just around the image. Got a nice dotted line around it. That's been selected. And it says select entities. I'm done selecting. I put my enter key and it says specify your first source point. This is where it pays to get your little crosshairs in. And we know that we took a measurement from the tip of this little arrow point. And I put my crosshairs on it. Left mouse click. I've selected it. Got a nice little brown cafe line. I can zoom out with my wagon wheel. And I happen to have a snap on. If you don't know if your snaps are on, but this is what we want to do, is you have a node snap here or end of line snap. We can turn those on. And the advantage of those snaps is that when I click in, I'm going to go right to the end of that particular line I drew. So there's my first point. Command line's telling me specify second point. So I'm going to go zoom over here, and I recognize get the right arrow because I picked the downward one here. And I can put those crosshairs right on the tips of those arrows. Zoom out. Notice as I come across it, it wants to basically ping me right on the end of that. Now, it's asking me for a third point. We're in 2D right now, so we don't have a third dimension that we're going to rotate this on an angle. Just press enter. Now, this is an important part. Scale objects based on alignment points. Yes, you answer yes to this, because that's going to basically say we are now 1-to-1. So we have a 1-to-1 drawing that we've scanned, matching that line that we know is 27.0590 meters in length across there. And now we're able to say, I wish to produce evidence, I wish to take measurements. I can simply say, where is this car? And do some analysis, measurements, leader lines, straight from a curve point and to the car. And start doing whatever I want right on top of this point cloud. This is what I'm talking about as a rapid deliverable. So I deleted off that leader line, and I want to basically go through and say, hey, let me see a really quick just way of putting a piece of evidence in and pushing out a PDF report. And this is a fast, great tool. So over on the analysis tab, you're going to find on the far right, evidence markers. We simply grab the evidence marker that we want, and we're going to start with 1. And we say, I want to run a squared placard in. It's yellow in color. I want the text to be dark color. And I want the line actually to match in yellow, the arrow pointing it. And now its text height is listed as 0.03. That's a little small. I'm going to say 0.65, just get a little bit bigger because I want to be able to see it. And I say insert. Now I wagon wheel in, pointing my crosshairs right at the tire, ping it in the center, and I come out a bit, and I get myself a nice placard. Now here's where the best part is. Over on the right hand side here, you have photographs. You're able to basically say, I want to attach a photograph of that tire. So here's placard 1. I have that picture that I put in as my crime scene pictures. Took it with the iPad, working with the RTC. It was great. And tucked it in. We say, done. I'm ready to move to placard number 2. Well, I cut myself off, not wanting to keep going with placard 2 and 3 and 4 into that particular scene. We're getting near the end of our time for this webinar. And I just want to finish out with the idea that the evidence log is a fantastic tool that I think everyone should be using with the Map 360 product and keeping organized and giving you something in the hallway when you're prepping up for court and sharing with your prosecutors and sharing within the department to the investigators. Getting this out quickly can be done. What we have here is just this PDF report, and within it you can attach your pictures, videos, but the beautiful thing is as you work in your layers, it's a layered report, layered PDF, and that is very, very cool technology. Now, one thing else that I think is very neat is the final drawing that you actually get to produce is when it converts out of the model space and you paper print it. These are beautifully done, as you can actually tell your printer to send it off to Snagit and then email this off as a rapid deliverable. And that is where we're being efficient in communicating what we captured at the scene, what we documented, in order to help resolve cases that much faster. I don't think the day and age is when people were saying, I'll wait 3 months, 7 months to get my diagrams. This stuff can be done pretty darn quick, and I'm hopeful that you guys are jumping on a great processing plan to get diagrams done quickly. Thanks. See ya.